Hi you all, how are you doing today? To all my new subs, how y'all doing? Welcome. I wanted to talk today about stop tolerating bad behavior. Why do you think we let people walk all over us? It's time to take our power back. So I can remember, for example, my mom would call me, but when she would call me, I'm thinking she's calling just to say hello, check in, see how I'm doing. Instead, you're being verbally abusive and you basically are using me as a punching bag, and you're just letting out all this anger and this venom that I did not ask for just because you're having a bad day or whatever happened in your life that day. In this video, we're going to talk about why we tolerate bad behavior, the impact it has on us, and how to stop it for good. Okay? So, all right. So why do we tolerate bad behavior? Well, there's a couple reasons why. Fear of conflict. So many people, they don't like confrontation. So they rather avoid addressing the bad behavior because they just don't want to deal with confrontation. Then there's low self-worth. Some people believe that they don't deserve to be treated better. And then there's cultural and social conditioning. So society encourages people to, y'all heard the saying, be the better person, all to try to keep the peace. Yeah, those type of social and cultural, conditionings is the reason and how we end up, tolerating bad behavior. So, and another thing, hope for change. People hold on to this belief that others will change one day on their own. Now, for these, some examples would be like, if a friend of yours, every time y'all are supposed to meet up, they're always last minute canceling on you. Or, if you have a partner and they're really dismissive of your feelings. These patterns don't just resolve themselves. This is kind of like tolerating bad behavior. So what's the impact of like tolerating bad behavior? The impact is it drains us emotionally. It causes stress, it causes resentment, and it can bring your self-esteem down and give you low self-esteem. Relationship strain. It can create toxic dynamics, enabling this bad behavior to continue on. And then on top of that, you can have missed opportunities. So when we tolerate bad behavior, we lose energy and time that could have been better spent towards our goals and things that we value. So, we need to spend time with healthier relationships. That's the bottom line. And so, I can remember something like, as far as like these impacts that I'm talking about, I did have like experienced stress, and I did feel resentful, and I did kind of have low self-esteem due to tolerating bad behavior from my mom calling me, cursing me out because she's mad, or calling me names because, she wants to, embarrass me or try to belittle me and, be condescending, to make herself feel superior and better than me, that's not right. We just don't tolerate that. But I remember that. I just remember her putting me down. And I just thought that at that time, I absolutely needed her approval. But enough was enough. And I put a stop to that. So anyway, so how do we stop tolerating bad behavior? Well, you set boundaries. Your boundaries are to protect you. And if anyone is hurt or harmed or angered or bothered by your boundaries, that shows you more what their problem is. It's not you. See, your boundaries, keep them from manipulating you, keep them from taking from you. Your boundaries create a barrier of protection for you. is not there to harm anyone. So for anyone to sit there and be like, you're hurting me, no, they're hurting themselves. Yes. Another thing, learn to say no and stick to it, because no is a complete sentence all by itself. Okay. Recognize patterns. If you give a person multiple chances over and over again, constantly just forgiving, and their behavior is not changing, well, you have to make the change, and now you got to go back to the drawing board to reevaluate the situation. Do you want to continue dealing with this individual, or do you want to start creating distance? And this leads into detach emotionally. So instead of focusing on their approval, focusing on being liked, which is essentially like people pleasing, right? Start focusing on your values, and self-respect instead of their reactions. Their reactions is exactly that. Their problem, and let it be that. Speak up, be firm but respectful when addressing the behavior, okay? For example, I don't appreciate you talking to me in that tone or in that way. That's being firm, and it's also being respectful while placing a boundary in place that, hey, you're drawing a line in the sand, basically. And then be prepared to walk away if necessary. I understand it's hard to walk away from, say, family or long-term friends and things of that nature, but sometimes God calls us we're journeying together for a time, but because the paths are different, you're going to go apart. You're going to go your own way. But in the future, if it's God's will, you two will reunite in the future, and hopefully they are a changed individual. But be prepared to walk away. Don't stay somewhere where you're tolerated. No, you should be somewhere where you are celebrated and praised and respected and loved. Okay? So what was this video all about? Well, why do we tolerate bad behavior? The impact of tolerating bad behavior, and how to stop tolerating bad behavior. So, if this video resonated with you, then like, share, comment, and subscribe below. I would love for you to leave a comment and tell me, about a time that you stood up for yourself. I would love to hear that story and talk about it. But remember, you teach people how to treat you when you stop tolerating bad behavior. You make space for what you deserve and, the respect that you deserve as well. We teach people how to treat us based on how we treat ourselves. Like, the biggest key would be start with you. Have compassion with you. Love you. Because at the end of the day, maybe due to low self-esteem and, the resentment and everything that started just bubbling up over time emotionally, be compassionate with yourself. Feel your emotions, observe your emotions. You're human, okay? It doesn't make you a bad person because you're mad. It doesn't make you a bad person for feeling any type of way other than happiness. So anyways, you guys, I hope y'all like this video. Peace. Positive energy always creates elevation. I will talk to you all later. Bye.